This is going to be the video tutorial on how to do the exterior of your classic zip around wallet using fabric. Now I am going to cover vinyl as well as cork later on, but for now we are going to show you the construction using fabric. So right here we have pattern piece B, which is your exterior stabilizer, cut in Craftex. I've already gone ahead and done my drawings as per your prep area. So I'll set that aside. You will need a piece of foam, 1/8 of an inch thick, open cell. Now this foam I get at Home Depot, and it is used for flooring underlay. Now in a pinch, for fabric only, you can use your Annie's Soft and Stable. It is twice the thickness, so it's 1/4 of an inch. I would not use it on leather or vinyl because it is too thick. And then finally we have pattern piece A. Now this pattern has been centered in the design that of the pattern, so that when I fold over that wallet, I've got a really unique design on the front and the back of my wallet. You'll also notice that I have not gone right through with my cross lines as shown in the prep area, because this is a light colored fabric and I do not want those lines showing through. So all I've done is gone ahead and put little short lines along about 1/2 inch from the exterior within the seam. Now I've also drawn or traced my pattern piece B onto the wrong side, so that when I go to place my foam and my Craftex down, I will have a line to follow. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to add our foam and Craftex to the back of our fabric piece. But what we need to do is we need to connect the foam to the Craftex and then the foam to the wrong side of your fabric. Now normally in the leather I was using glue, but because we are using fabric, you don't want the glue to penetrate through. So we are going to be requiring a spray adhesive as well as regular glue. So I'm going to move this piece out of the way, and I'm going to start with this foam piece. Now I am also spraying on top of newsprint because I do not want to have any kind of glue sprayed over top of my table. So what you need to do is you need to lightly spray one side of this foam, and it just has to be very light because this piece is going to the back side of the Craftex. So we're going to flip this piece over, and you're going to place this piece of foam right into the middle, centering it as best you can down onto the Craftex. Now you should have approximately 1/4 of an inch all the way around the foam, which shows the Craftex right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to spray this side of the foam so that we can connect this foam piece to the wrong side of the fabric. So you want to make sure that you completely cover the whole area with your spray adhesive. So you want to just, starting on the outside edges, kind of giving that a nice spray, and then filling in the foamed area. Now you want to keep a damp cloth by your side because this glue will stick really well to your fingers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up. But if you notice, we've got spray adhesive on our newsprint. So what you want to do is you want to remove that piece, and you're going to start with a fresh piece. You're going to bring your fabric piece over, and you're looking at the wrong side. Now I am holding the glued side of the foam and the Craftex. I want to flip this down, and I want to place it onto those placement lines of the fabric. So I will line up my top and my bottom, and I'm going to press down on the Craftex and the foam so that it makes sure that it adheres and bonds well to your fabric. Now I would suggest that you place some weight on this piece and let it sit for about 15-20 minutes, and then we're going to go back, we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you how to then bring your fabric around. Now that this piece has set well and bonded to your fabric, we're going to use a regular glue, fabric glue. But before we do, I have already gone ahead and snipped my corners. Right there you can see, so that when I come around, it's nice and smooth around. So I've done all 4 corners. You notice that we are going to be flipping this fabric to the side that has the markings on it. So what you want to do is you want to just add some glue to the wrong side all the way along the edges to the fabric. You don't need a lot, just enough so that when you fold that back, it connects to the Craftex. And you also don't want to put too much on that it might penetrate through the front. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to smooth a little bit of this so that it nicely blends around the fabric and gets you a nice even coating. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on one side, just like we did on the leather if you've watched the leather video. You're going to start by flipping back this fabric, and you're going to move it all the way up about 1.5 inches from the corner. So you can use your fingers, you can use a stick, you can use a bone folder. That's up to you, whichever you feel makes it the job easier. I flipped this to the other side. I've gone ahead and I'm going to move that up. I'm leaving my corners to the very end. Now I'm going to go the other side, smooth that up, flip that around, and I'm going to do this side. The nice thing with the fabric glue is if you make a mistake, you can actually pull it back and then redo that area. What you want to do is keep this line, and this line, all the lines as even and clean as possible without having any kind of wobbles. So you want to make sure that that fabric is pulled back adequately. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into the corners. Now, in the leather video, I suggested that you bring this piece down right to the center. But with the fabric, what you want to do is you want to start down here. You want to begin by kind of pulling a little bit along, and you're going to be molding that fabric into the corner. And it's nice. I use my finger and I kind of push that fabric over to the side. So you can see how well that corner has taken. Now you can take a mallet and you can smooth out some of this bulk area here, but you cannot iron this because the foam tends to be one that will flatten out and compress with heat. You'll just lose that whole softness on the exterior of your wallet. So now you're going to go ahead and you're going to do all 4 corners. And this may take a little bit of a practice for you. I've done so many of them that I can just kind of whip through them all. There we go. So that is how you place your fabric to your Craftex and your foam for your exterior of your classic zip around wallet. So now I've gone ahead and shown you how to do the fabric version, and now I'm going to cover the vinyl version for you. So if you've noticed that I've gone ahead and done some prep work already. Now this vinyl is a little bit thicker than what I would like to use, but I wanted to show you that it is acceptable, but if you can get a thinner vinyl, it would be better. The process is basically the same. You spray your foam and you attach it to your Craftex. The next difference is that you spray then the wrong side of your vinyl, the whole piece, and then you bring the piece down because you want the sticky glue to be on the edges so that when you bring this down, it's going to stick in place. Now this one has dried since I have done this, so it's not going to hold down. Now, you're going to notice I have tape along the edges. So what that does is that holds those edges in place while I am getting ready to prepare for my zipper placement and my lines. So coming around the corners are a little bit more difficult than the leather and the fabric. You will need to clip out a little bit more of your vinyl. I'll flip it to this side so you can see it better. In order for that, when you come around, it's going to reduce the bulk and some of the vinyl in there. Now, you're always going to get some bends like there are right here, because vinyl is vinyl, it doesn't give. If you have a thinner vinyl, then you can bring that down much better. Again, I have pushed the limits on this vinyl. It's almost too thick for this wallet, so you really need to keep that in mind. And I would suggest, before you go ahead and know which vinyl you want to use, test it first on a corner with a piece of Craftex. If you don't like the look that you've got, then I would suggest you go to a thinner one for sure. So basically, that's what this vinyl piece looks like, and you come around in the same way as you would the fabric. Now, people are going to ask about cork, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion about this. Cork, when you fold it around, can crack if you don't have a really good cork. Now, there are good corks out there that don't crack, but my concern is that over a period of time, this cork will wear. So I'm not really recommending cork for this wallet, because I'm worried that the wear and tear on the corners right here are going to be substantial, and it's going to ruin the wallet very, very quickly. So you have to take that, bear that in mind when you're doing your wallet, and decide what you want to do and how you feel about that. So for now, that is the fabric version and the vinyl version and my opinion of cork.